Hey everyone, it's Average Gatsby, and welcome to another episode of my Dragon Age Origins videos. Here, we're going to get into some a little bit tougher fights. What I'm doing right here is I'm basically going in here, clearing out the rooms. You're seeing I'm leading the way with Shale. I like to take control of the tank, right at the beginning of the fight, and then have everyone else, sort of be, have him go back to auto afterwards. But one thing to always remember: this isn't this is an RPG where you really are every character, and so there's no reason for you not to switch around characters and everything like that. And as you can see, I'm trying to split them up right here. So get them all over to Shale. Have Shale taunt, and then I'll use my my two-handed swordsman to flank. So I get in here and I hit him with a roar. Or bellow, excuse me. I don't have roar yet, and then I will, use the taunt, pick up the rest of them, and get in on their flanks with my two-handed swordsman. As you can see, I was moving up simply because I, wanted to make sure everyone was in range of the taunt, and then my strategy here is I know that Abomination is going to take a good enough number of hits, but I know that these skeleton archers can do a fair amount of damage. So I'm going to have my two-handed swordsman go around here and kill everyone else, and just have Shale be tanking, and have that sort of be on auto with the Abomination, and I'll just go kill everyone else because I don't need. I'm not too worried about the Abomination's damage. I'm worried more about his health, and so I can save him for last, and I'll still be alright. As you can see, we've been hitting him this entire time, and he still has a fair amount of health, so, taking out the other enemies is sometimes, the best course of action. We get the awesome kill right there. I really like that aspect, how they, they added sort of the unique kills in this game, and that was really fun. And now comes probably the hardest. This is definitely the hardest fight on this floor. This might be the hardest fight in the Circle Tower, one of the hardest, and it is coming up right here. First thing you're going to notice, I'm going to turn off Heroic Aura, Heroic Offense, because I need all points on for Wynne to be on healing. Should I ever not use Wynne directly. Second thing, I had this wrong. Shale was only using Bellow when the enemy was surrounded by two enemies. I need him to use Bellow when she's surrounded by two enemies. I also bumped the health potuses up to 25% because Shale's going to be taking damage a hell of a lot quicker than any other time. So what we're going to do here is we're going to immediately back up our two ranged units, because in this next room is a Desire Demon, and I believe 8 or 9 Templars, could be less, you can count when you see me open up the door. But the Desire Demon has an AoE blast that can knock down Wynne. If Wynne goes out of the fight for a second, after the battle's really been joined, I am totally messed up when it comes to healing Shale. Okay, so looks like there's 5 of them. 5 of them in a Desire Demon, which is still pretty bad, especially because one of these Templars looks like he's some kind of Templar commander. I don't know if it actually says that he's a different type or what, but I can tell you right now that he seems to do a heck of a lot more damage. So what I'm doing right here is I'm having the Shale tank, I'm having my character attack the Desire Demon, and I'm gonna and then I have Liliana just attacking the nearest unit to Shale. I probably should have had Liliana also attacking the Desire Demon. Another thing you'll notice, I switched off of Powerful Swings because I need the accuracy to hit the Desire Demon, and I switched to Indomitable. It's absolutely imperative that you kill this Desire Demon as quickly as possible, because what you're going to run into is that the Desire Demon has 2 freezing spells. It's got Cone of Cold and it's got Winter Grasp. If it's able to hit Shale multiple times with Winter Grasp and then Cone of Cold and just keep alternating while the Templars, who all have knockdown, while the Templars are knocking down Shale, Shale may never have a chance to use a health potus, and that will mean, she's going to go down instantly if Wynne is unable to heal. you know, things are getting really intense right here. One thing to keep in mind always is that just because the Desire Demon is down, this fight is not over. All of these Templars have knockdown. All of it use it liberally against these. All these Templars use it liberally against Shale, and they can cause some major problems. But we are able to get through it. This wasn't my first time doing this, not by a long shot. But if you set everything up right and you're really focused at taking out the Desire Demon early, I recommend you, as soon as you start the fight, you know, hit her with a pommel strike, and then just unload with all the abilities that you have. You know, you really need to kill her quickly. And that's really the best advice I can give. Split them up, make sure that your ranged units never really get in range to be hit by anyone. What can be really bad too is you absolutely need Shale taunting and using Bellow, because as soon as the enemy, if one Templar slips by and gets to Wynne, you're finished. Your whole party is about to get wiped, because he will instantly drain all of Wynne's mana, and he'll perform knockdown moves on both Wynne and Liliana, which can really suck. So, just something to be aware of. But Shale's an excellent tank. Sten might have been a little bit better right there, because with the Indomitable move, you would have been able to avoid all of the knockdowns that you have to worry about from the Templars, but you still wouldn't have been able to avoid Winter's Grasp. Another thing, of course, for Shale, specking right there, if you have any large... I forget what the crystals are called. Large ice crystals, I want to say. Whatever the crystals are that give you a resistance to that damage, you want to equip that. I can't remember what crystal it is, but oh well. You know what I'm referring to. So what I'm showing you right here is the Codex entry for the Watchguard of the Reaching quest. And this is a really tricky quest because you have to activate a series of statues in an order, and you don't know what that order is because you don't get any confirmation from actually touching the right statue. You get confirmation from touching the wrong statue, you get shocked. So you can kind of figure it out yourself. There's only 4 of them, but they're not all in the same room, so that can also be tricky. First thing we do is the bull. Then we're going to go to the raised statue, and you can figure this out from reading the Codex entry, but it doesn't provide you the end result, the exact order, until you get the last entry from the apprentice's notes. That's what you've been collecting this whole time. The apprentice notes, that's when they come into play right here. So you get the bull, the upward sword, the downward sword, and then you walk over to, you know, way back to this room that we were just in, and we're going to hit the shield. And you'll get sort of a confirmation. I forget exactly what it says right here, but you will get a confirmation. You know, we'll use, and I think there's kind of a sound right there. You get the quest completed, and you hear a low rumble. So we're going to go all the way back down to the bottom floor in the same room where we found Wynne, and we're going to fight this guy. Once again, make sure everyone is really spread out, because this guy has a Fire Blast move that can knock everyone down and do major damage, and you really want to avoid that. So you can see I'm putting Wynne and Liliana on opposite ends, and then as soon as I walk down here to open up the door, boom, this guy spawns. Shale's going to tank right away, and one thing that's nice is that if all these mages are alive, they will also help you do damage, so it makes killing this guy, you know, a heck of a lot easier. What is he? Shay Wyrd, that looks like. Shay Wyrd is basically just a, you know, greater rage demon on steroids, and you just got to deal with that. So, you know, as you can see, I'm flanking him. Shale's tanking. Your pommel strikes will work against him. I don't know if Roar will work, and we take him out very quickly. And, you know, something really nice. I also had on powerful swings for him. You can hit him with powerful swings at this point. And we are going to get my next weapon I'm going to use. The, I believe you pronounce it Yusairs. Actually, looting Shale, or Shay Wyrd doesn't get you anything, but the pile of rags do. Yusairs is the best sword I can get for a little while. What makes this sword so good? You're about to see. I'm going to do a comparison here of the damage between the two. I've got Chastened Flat Blade. 38 damage, goes up, you know, by 4 damage per second, and this weapon has better criticals and twice the armor penetration, plus 20% fire resistance, and plus 10 damage to dragons. Really good sword, and I'm really glad I have it. Anyway, I'm Average Gatsby. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.